Hi, so I'm John Laughlin. I set up Appleseed Solutions about 9 months ago after running just over £5 billion of the government's aerospace and automotive programs. It's a consultancy and specialises in autonomous vehicles, aerospace and land-based. Clicker, there we go. But I'm an advisor at Nesta. Has everyone heard of Nesta? Just want to check. A few people. Has anyone heard of the Longitude Prize? No? Well, a few more people. Okay. So I will explain Nesta. Nesta used to be the National Endowment for Science, Technology and Arts. It turned into NDPB, which is a bit like Innovate UK, in 2010. And in 2012, the government turned it into a charity. And it's an innovation foundation. And it tries to bring ideas to life. You can see the type of stuff it does, from future thinking to innovation policy. But what it does is it looks for the opportunities and challenges. It looks for novel ideas to solve the big problems. And it tries to join together with other organizations to try and make a societal shift. And the specific job I'm doing at Nesta is advising on the Flying High program. So as Mark alluded to, there's a lot of technology, there's a potential market, there's some regulation, but we need a program. We need a program to try and knit this together. So what this program does, and what we're planning to do with it, is get 5 UK cities, pioneering cities, that are willing to engage in the program, actively engage in the program, and we're going to develop use cases for each one of those cities to try and unlock the market potential. So one of the things we need to do is understand what is the commercial opportunity for a specific city, what is the technology challenges, what are the regulatory barriers. I want to connect all those together. By connecting them together, this will be a world's first, we believe. There's lots of stuff that's happening across the world, in Japan and Singapore and Dubai, right across Europe, but they're all isolated single trials. What we want to do is have all 5 of the cities, all with a unique city, a unique use case, to develop these commercial opportunities. And we want to do that with a rock bed of having positive public perception. It does not take long to go on the internet and find a drone could kill a bunch of people or deliver drugs to prisons or take down an aircraft or invade my privacy. There's a lot of negative public attention on drones. What we want to do with this program is have a rock bed of positive public capturing the imagination. So why is Nesta involved? What is the challenge? So we've got a bit of a market, which I'll explain in a minute. We've got some regulation that's quite old, and we've got some technology. But we're kind of in this deadlock at the minute. The regulation isn't strong enough for the technology providers to be certain to invest in a platform, because they don't know what to invest in. They don't know what technologies they'll need to work within a regulatory framework. They don't have the full commercial picture. How much money are they going to make if they develop this drone, this platform? And then what is the payload? What are the sensors? So there isn't the certainty in to invest. So we need to break that deadlock, and that's what we believe Flying High will do. Oh, we've gone ahead. Okay. So what we're hoping is, so each city will have a specific use case. These are some examples, like Mark gave some. We want the cities to tell us what they want. But we could have drones for good, so emergency services doing organ delivery, rapid delivery of medicines or blood from blood banks. The fire brigade basically coming to a fire, throwing a drone up and quickly determining access points, switching to IR, seeing where the intensity of the blaze is, and then fast, rapid response and targeting the fire where it needs to be targeted. In disaster relief, we obviously saw a number of disasters last year, Italy, New Zealand. You can pinpoint survivors, you can do structural assessments, you can get equipment and medicines rapidly to where they need to be. We're delivering goods. We could deliver coffee. Rakton talk about the gap between the ground and 150 meters being an untapped aerial market. They've been doing a demonstration in Japan for the last year on a golf course. You get your app, you select what you want, you pick the hole, and it delivers your drink or your, in my case, golf balls, because I've lost them all. And they've been doing that demonstration for a year. They're building in Tokyo a fulfillment center across Tokyo Bay, an apartment block with drone delivery platforms. So they're actually building this stuff now. So it's happening. And Amazon Prime Air, of course, we've seen that in Cambridge. Taxi drones. This is the EHang 184. Mark put it up. Yeah, EHang 184, that's it. So that's the EHang. That will be open to the public as a taxi in Dubai this summer. Now it's a 100 kilogram weight limit, so I'm safe. I want to see the YouTube footage of people flying on these things. Airbus rocked up to the Geneva Motor Show for the first time ever in this year with the pop-up. So a car, a connected mobility service with a rotor set that drops onto the top and takes you off. And you also put that picture up. That's the Vahana program by Airbus, and Airbus have said they will be flying the Vahana at the end of this year. That's a commitment from them. So those are the potential sectors or how it could be used. This is the market according to PwC. So PwC say the market is $127.3 billion by 2020. But what they do say, this is a total available market. So I read that as if drones disrupt all the incumbent technologies, that's the number. So I think we can scale that back a bit. But what it does show is the indicative percentages of where the market opportunities are in infrastructure, transportation, telecommunications. And it is a big number, regardless of your interpretation of it. Not only is there a market, not only do we have the sectors, in the UK, we've got a number of really key strengths. And Mark touched on this a little bit more technically than me. We do have drones platforms. We've got RAS and artificial intelligence. We've got digital technologies, and we actually do have quite a strong cybersecurity sector in the UK. Aviation. So we do have really, really well-regulated airspace through NATS. We have the second largest aerospace sector in the world, only next to America. Satellite applications, again, second only to the US. And we can pull all that together with communications, sensors, and electronics. And what we have in the UK are the absolute fundamental building blocks to make a really viable drones demonstration in a city, in an urban environment. So just to recap that, there is a market opportunity, both for the sectors and for the technology developers. But we're the frog. So the UK is the frog, and we're sitting here on our stick, talking and saying, wouldn't it be great to do a demonstration program in cities? And what's happened is the rest of the world is slowly climbing over our head and doing demonstrations all over the world. But if we pull this together as an interconnected real-world demonstration in the 5 cities, all with unique business cases, then this will be a world's first, and this will give us the opportunity to leapfrog ahead of where we are now, to unleash all that potential, all that capability in the UK, and that will act as a beacon for inward investment to the UK. That will say to the world, come to the UK, test your technology here. There's a market here. We're open to business. I think even more crucial now, as we head into more uncertain times through Brexit, we need to start thinking about what is the USP for UK PLC. So on the programme, what have we done? How are we going to make this happen? So we've mapped the commercial drones landscape in the UK and internationally. We've identified all the opportunities. We pulled together all the senior stakeholders into a roundtable event in March to stress test some of our assumptions, to see whether this is viable, to see whether cities actually want this. And it is a resounding yes. We've spoken to all the major government departments, opened the black book and spoke to all the private sector companies, 20 UK cities, 10 international cities. And we've spoken to the CAA, spoken to NATS, we've spoken to the likes of TfL. We do want to do this program in the UK first, although we do see an opportunity to proliferate this out on an international scale. So this is, with all that work that we've done and all the discussions we've had, this is basically the plan. So phase 1, which we'd like to enter into this October, is clearly defining each use case. So if there's a market for infrastructure or first last mile delivery, we need to clearly define that for the specific city. Then we need to map out the regulation and the technology challenges. If we do that for all 5, then actually what we're doing, I mean, that's gold dust in itself, because that starts to test what the true market opportunity is. Then, as that's city defined and there is a commercial opportunity, that's when we want to do a call to action to industry to say, here's the market, here's your opportunity, but here are our barriers. Can you come and play with us? Can you come and solve some of these technical challenges that we've got? And together, we'll work with NATS and the CAA to make sure the regulation's there. Then the final phase is a controlled environment testing. So in private, test out the technologies, go through the failure modes, see if there's redundant systems or what redundant systems we need, and then go into a semi-live prove-out. So once we've proven the technology's safe and we don't have helicopter blades trying to cut down the makeup ladies, we want to do a semi-live prove-out. So one of the things we want to do and be absolutely fundamental to the program is the public engagement piece. So as the public tell us what is positive, but also what they're concerned about, we want to prove out in a controlled environment how we address those concerns. So what is the failure mode that they're concerned about? How do we address that? And we'll do that in a controlled environment and bring the public with us to then step into a 3-month demonstration in cities themselves. So in conclusion, there are clear market opportunities for UK businesses. But we can really only unlock them if we start doing something about it and set up a program that does real-world trials in cities. And if we do that, we can not only capture the public imagination, the public can help stimulate the market and accelerate the technologies for us. Thank you.